Feels like it's been years.
Honestly, it has.
Yeah.
Last episode we did was AI.
AI. And
Yeah.
I think it was 2 weeks.
It was about 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago?
It would
Yeah. Well, I think it's 3 weeks
Yeah,
ago,
so I
actually.
say it would be 3 weeks since
Yeah.
we skipped.
It's been so long.
Almost a month.
I almost burped into the mic.
To think you got one of those.
For you to do that and then vomit into the mic.
I was about to do it, and then I was like, wait, no.
That doesn't feel right.
It's one of those recordings where you come back to it after a while and you forget that you have a podcast.
What's a podcast?
It's like you get in front of the mic and you're like,
What?
what?
Yeah.
What do we say? What do we do?
Where's my snare? I got no snare in my headphones. There you go.
This episode is going to be about body mods,
Body
which
modifications.
Kagan has been looking forward to.
For when the base game isn't good enough for you.
Yeah.
You give DLC to your body.
Yes.
That'd be the title of this episode, Body DLC.
Body DLC?
Yeah. So a lot of us, do any of us have any?
I have a tattoo. One,
You have a tattoo?
yes, I'm about to explain.
Do you?
I'm about to explain it. So, I was hoping to get to this a little later, but you brought it up. So
I was
I'll
about to
explain.
ask. I didn't think any of us had any body modifications.
No, so this is...
Not willingly, no.
I got this one indeliberately. So how they used to do tattoos before, like, the whole pen and ink was they would cut open skin and then rub, like, soot or coal in it, and it would heal up and leave, like, black marks underneath the skin.
Wait,
And,
so they would cut the tattoo out and then
It wouldn't
color
be.
with
They wouldn't be big intricate things. They'd just be like little symbols or something that they would
Oh.
cut, and then they'd fill it with like soot or like charcoal or dirt, and it would heal over. And when it would, you could see the design underneath the skin. And I did that at work. I cut my finger, and I guess metal shaving dirt got into it, and it healed over because now I have this black line on my ring finger that just won't go away.
I had that happen with a splinter once.
Lead poisoning.
Yeah, any percent speed run.
Ethan, I think
I was
you're,
gonna say speed run.
I think you're a little far away from your mic. You sound kind of quiet to me.
Oh fuck.
A little quiet.
Just a little.
Just a little bit.
Just a wee little bit.
Just a tad. Kagan, I had that happen with
A little bit.
a splinter.
Oh really?
Yeah, it healed over like the entire
Oh,
splinter. And I had to dig it out eventually because it was bugging me because like the slightest pressure on it would hurt.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to get that shit
I think
out.
I have a shard of glass in my foot like that. It's on.
Oh.
I heard
It's on the heel,
shard of glass.
and every time I step, it doesn't hurt, but I can feel it. But it's healed over, and I don't know how deep it is into my foot.
No.
My
but I don't want to have to
uncle
cut my foot
still
open.
has a metal BB. It's either a metal BB or a 22 bullet in his thigh.
Yeah.
That like like you can rub it and it'll like move around in his thigh. It's just kind of sitting in there.
Yeah,
He never
it's
got
just
it out.
there.
It's been there since he was a kid, and he's like, I don't know, pushing 40. No, he's
It's
over.
staying.
Actually, no, he's over 40 because my mom, I think, just turned. 40.
He really saying, well, it ain't causing no problems.
Did anyone do an intro?
No, we didn't.
We've skipped like the intro
This is
twice.
This is
welcome back to the It's Hard to Explain podcast. There you go. There's your
It's been
intro.
a minute, but we're back.
enjoy the intro.
We're
Yeah.
ready.
So, from what I'm gathering, a few of us have unwilling body modifications. I mean, I have some. I have teeth piercings.
Do you have teeth piercings?
Fillings.
Yeah.
I mean, I do too. I have like 2 of them.
Yeah.
But body modifications, when I say that, it's not just piercings or tattoos. It can range from any kind of modification that people have, whether it be prosthetics or silicone that they inject into their skin, or like butchering parts of your body to make it look a certain way.
Yeah, we're just talking about our opinions on body mods and talking about some of the crazier ones.
Yeah.
Also, I was gonna say something. Damn it! Oh, this is what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, I believe after this episode we have like 8 more coming out till the end of the year.
Oh wow.
So we got some. Actually, the next episode that comes out will be a Halloween themed episode.
Hell yeah.
We've almost been doing this for a full year. And I think
Almost,
that's
yeah. I
crazy.
just wanted to take a minute to talk about that before we delve deeper into body mods. This is like our 22nd episode, I think it will be. 22nd.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised we actually have lasted this long.
Yeah, me too. For anybody
Weren't you
that's
saying,
listening.
Like, most people quit after like 10 episodes.
Yeah,
A lot of
statistically.
people, a lot of people quit after like their first episode.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
They make one episode, they're like, all right, it wasn't an instant success.
They
I'm
just
done.
don't stick to it. And that is hard. It's easy to get into that mindset of like
Instant gratification.
instant gratification, making one episode and then not blowing up, which it's completely possible to do that, but it's like
It's luck.
it's
Yeah,
it's
it's
purely
severe
luck.
luck.
Purely luck.
Instant gratification is nice, but you can't just get there immediately every
Yeah.
time.
You can't just
you gotta
get
you gotta
instant
edge that shit,
gratification.
man. You
I
gotta,
was talking
you
to
gotta
Kagan earlier.
goon,
I was
okay?
talking to Kagan earlier. I edge my car all the time on gas. Because I was driving to Kagan's earlier, and actually, well, that's a funny story. I'll get onto that later. But I was driving to Kagan's earlier, and I was looking at my gauge, and I was almost there, and it said, "Give me gas," and I was like, "I guess." So I pulled over, got fuck,
empty my
oh
tank.
fuck. Yeah, so I got gas, but I only got $20 worth, so that was like what, half a tank. I've never gotten a full tank of gas.
You should sometime.
So,
It'll last
yeah,
you much longer.
yeah.
It's
I
awesome.
agree. I
We
agree.
got 2 weeks worth of gas.
I just fucking edged my gas meter.
I usually wait to get gas until I can't avoid it anymore as well.
Yeah,
I don't. As
Yeah.
soon as mine hits like a quarter of a tank,
I get-
or like 3/4 left, or
Yeah.
a quarter,
Yeah.
I'm having a stroke.
Same with me.
When it reaches about 80 miles on my thingy, because it tells me how many miles
Oh,
I have
yeah.
until I'm empty.
Yeah,
When
it's
it
about a
reaches
quarter
about
tank.
80 is when I fill mine up, because I'm like, I ain't taking any chances. You ain't never gonna catch me breaking down.
the thing is, I'm a cheap bitch, so that's why I do what I do. And
They're gonna hate me regardless.
You're
That's
right.
why I do what I do.
but back to the podcast and how long it's been going on. I'm proud. I mean, all in total, I think we've recorded. This will be 23 episodes because we have recorded a couple that just weren't
In
hit.
and out.
And then we've also recorded the pilot like 3 times, I think, three
Three
different
different
times.
times.
And then the pilot of the podcast ended up being those different takes spliced together
Yeah.
to give us like the better moments and try to get our point across. But yeah, by the end of the year, we'll have like, I think exactly 30 with,
And our last episode comes out on Christmas Day too.
yeah.
Which I think is
Yeah.
fun.
So that's fun.
That's cool.
I don't know what that episode will
didn't
be
know
yet,
that.
but it'll be cool.
We haven't planned that far ahead. All
Yeah,
right?
our last episode will be. You don't tell them that, Kagan. we do have topics planned out, but we actually.
I'm
don't
not talking
have the
about.
last 2.
I'm not talking about that far ahead.
Oh,
into
yeah.
The timeline. We
don't-
plan ahead, just not that far.
We don't have the last 2 episodes planned out, which are Christmas. They're probably going to be Christmas themed. We still got to talk about that. But yeah, our last episode comes out on Christmas Day. So
I
that's
do think
fun.
It's a little Christmas present for you guys.
Yeah, so 30 episodes in a year, I think that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Like, well, by then, even now, we have a pretty
I
diverse.
mean, for amateur, sure, Joe
catalog,
Rogan's
yeah.
probably cranking out 365
Well,
episodes a year.
I mean, for
That's
us,
basically his job.
for
I
us
know.
though, that's like just pretty good. It's
all right.
It's going to be a big catalog by the end of it, and then, I don't know what's to come next year, but I mean,
well, so boys, I think we should do a little catch up on how we've been doing in this almost month gap we've had.
yeah.
So, what's going on with you? Anything new? Anything fun? Anything exciting?
I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm fucking tired, but
Yeah.
I'm happy
I am
to
too.
be.
We've had a
I'm
long
happy
day.
to be doing that. Yeah, it's been a long couple of days. Which brings me back to I was saying earlier. I was driving to Kagan's earlier. Now it's my house too, my apartment too, because I moved in. I'm part of
Part of
the
that
crew, part of the ship now.
Yeah, he moved in with me and my girlfriend just to finally be a big boy.
I know. I'm not. Yeah. I'm no longer living with my parents anymore. It's weird because I haven't had like a second to actually process it because I've been going, packing, unpacking, doing all the stuff.
I think the carpet on carpet combo is devious.
It's
Carpet
it's
on
a bit redundant, but I'm fine with it because I like the red carpet. And it's a rug.
If
It's a
you
rug
go
on a
into
carpet.
it, he has a red rug
on top of the carpet, and
I
it's
mean,
fine.
It looks good.
Don't look at me like that. It's
Fuck is wrong with you?
It
it's
looks
just
good.
a little. You were talking shit about it.
I'm just having a rug on top of a carpet
It
is
doesn't
a weird
make sense.
combo.
Yeah,
but
it's
if you
fiendish
go-
behavior.
If
I
you
agree-
go
I
in there
agree.
and look at it, it
Yeah.
looks fine. His room looks good. He finally got
cannibal, aren't you?
He finally got all of his stuff settled in, so it gives off major dorm room vibes.
So Adam said he walked in. He's like, not gonna lie, not gonna hold you. Dorm room. And I was like, I like it. And
Hey,
he said,
but
yeah, it looks good.
I also said the dorm room
Yeah,
vibe goes crazy.
It goes crazy. Yeah, I will say. I mean, it just feels like my old room. Honestly, I do have more room, but it feels this relatively the same. So.
Yeah. So say,
Yeah.
Jake, I don't know. Kagan, this is just the beginning. Rug on carpet, this is just the beginning. You're going to leave one day and you're going to come home and you're going to have a carpeted bathroom.
I'm gonna do some weird shit, but that is not one of them. Carpeted bathrooms are
See, I'm
hellish.
convinced that the British aren't people.
Oh,
That's a big thing in like British houses is carpeted bathrooms.
my thing is like if you
carpet in your
if you-
bathroom.
If you piss,
that's like if you piss on the floor, come on.
History
Come on, if
started
you
in
miss the ball just a little bit.
1776. Everything else before that is a mistake.
It's a great segue into fucking body mods though, because it's like putting carpet in a bathroom is like
a body mod for
fucking.
your house.
It's like
It's like
if you
filing
were to
down your teeth.
that or like getting rid of your skin and replacing it with rug or something like that. What like that is no.
If you
no.
replace your skin with rug, would you just be giving yourself fur at that point?
I guess so. You'd have
You
to
would
start
be in
licking your
agony.
shit like a cat, dog. I don't know.
I can't. Okay, so chafing is already a horrible thing.
Oh,
But
yeah.
now you're
For
going to be
skin,
carpet
too.
burning
Yeah.
everywhere.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is carpet in bathrooms is hellish.
It
Don't
is.
do it. Fuck
Or
it.
Carpeted
Don't-
bathrooms
well-
and carpeted kitchens.
Well,
Those are two
that
rules.
was weird wording.
Bathrooms and
Don't
kitchens
fuck
are
the
two
road.
words that should never be anywhere near the word
Oh.
carpet.
No,
or
I
like
got,
fabric teeth.
I got one for you. A carpeted porch.
I mean,
Whenever me and Kayla
Oh,
and Jake
yeah.
were going to tour
Ooh.
houses, we found this one house that had a carpeted walkway and carpeted porch
Outside. It was outside. So it could have like any weather doesn't matter. It could have it's rained on all the time. Shit like
what kind of carpet?
It was like, you know, the carpet in like the gym at school.
That's
It
a
was
good
that
way to
super,
put it. The
Just like the
multi-
super fine, thin
Yes.
carpet.
Yes, it
I
was
mean,
just that on
that's
the
okay
sidewalk.
for outdoors. It's
more manageable, yeah,
That
but-
stuff is usually made for outdoors. I was thinking like
scrub
when
that
you said
stuff.
carpeted porch, I was like, what is it, like a shag carpet? Like,
But like the thing is, Ethan, if you what did you say something about cleaning it? If you like it was already coming off of the pavement. You know?
It had started peeling.
It was not very well kept. I'm sure if you maintained it, it would
but they
last
fucking
longer.
nuked that house with Pine Sol, dog. It was so.
Was
I
that
was
the-
getting sick.
Was that the house that had the support beams that were bending down, or
Yes. It was no. It was that one that was yellow.
did it have the water damage?
Uh,
The ceiling was dropping, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We're on the same page. I remember. I remember.
and they were trying to sell that bitch for $100,000. What the fuck is wrong with people?
It's not even worth 70,000.
let's wait for the housing market to crash.
It's not going to anytime soon, unfortunately.
It probably will.
I hope so.
This
That'd be
bubble,
cool.
it's got to be getting close to
My-
popping. Like
My mom
Yeah.
works in the whole
in the real estate
real
business.
estate
I can't wait to
business.
buy
She's
a
like,
house.
These rules and regulations and all that shit's gonna collapse.
I can't wait to buy $1 million house for $30 because the economy crashes.
I should have bought a house when I was 5.
It's like that one meme
should
of
have
the
been
fucking.
investing in Bitcoin when I was in my mother's
Me too.
womb.
Me too.
Instead of being born.
It's like
Get that bicameral.
It's like that one
Yeah.
video of the fucking millionaire in front of the mansion. It's like like elderly people buying their first house at 6 years old because they ran a lemonade stand. They simply worked harder than me. Like,
Back then, they'd buy a house for a bag of flour and a firm handshake. Like, fuck that.
Sounds like a deal.
That logic no longer applies.
I'll give
to
you.
Makes
modern
sense.
day.
I will give you my most beautiful daughter and my most prized sheep if you let me have this hut.
What do I
Ethan,
get
that's
out
like-
of this? Oh, you give me your daughter and your family name, and I'll give you 30,000 acres of land. That's a fair
I
trade.
would
I-
love that.
I'd take that deal. You take that deal?
I'll take that
I'd
deal.
have
I
Damn
don't
good
blame
deal.
you. Damn good deal.
I'd have a daughter to take that deal.
Be like, when you're old enough, I'm gonna sell you for land.
Ethan, you talking about like you should have bought a house while you were in the womb? It's like you're tugging on your umbilical cord and you're like fucking trying to get out. You're like, buy this, buy this.
Bitcoin!
Invest in Apple stock, please.
You watch your
Invest in
mom
GameStop.
buying an apartment and you're like, that wasn't the right decision. Wrong.
The parents, the house that I was born in cost $70,000, and that was in the year 2000. Recently looked at it, it's like $170,000 now.
Yeah, my mom. The house we moved into when we moved here was like 120 when we first moved in, because it was in a newer neighborhood and everything. And now it's like almost 300,000.
Yeah,
It's crazy how
especially
much it's gone up.
because the town has like developed a lot more. So
Yeah.
there's a lot more in that town now. Yeah, so that the housing prices are going up around there.
Yeah.
No, it's wild because like a similar thing happened to my fiance's family where they owned a house over. Do you know that subdivision?
Mm-hmm.
You know the one I'm talking about.
had to-
It's the
I've had
one
to
next to
drop her
the
off
red
before.
light. And,
Yes.
You know, you go up to the right and up the hill, and there's the golf course and all that stuff. That one.
That was a nice neighborhood.
Yeah, they bought a house up in there, and then whenever they were moving away, the value of their house had appreciated like so much. They were able to make a huge profit off of that house, and then move away to all the way up to Fayetteville, and you know.
I mean, Fayetteville itself is an expensive place to live.
Yep.
Because it's like the only good-looking town in Arkansas.
Some places.
Something.
Yeah.
So we said, and I don't. Any of us don't. None of us have tattoos, right? I don't
Not
have
really.
not any real
No.
tattoos.
Kayla has 3 and Shay has 2.
Okay.
So I mean,
I've considered getting a tattoo. It's just the whole idea. Like, I wouldn't mind having a tattoo. It's just I don't know what the hell I would want.
Yeah, I guess we
thing.
could
I
start
know
there.
what I
Like a
want.
tattoo is the most basic body modification. I
I'm
guess.
too indecisive when it comes to things like, and especially if I'm gonna get something permanent on my body. It's like, well, I want this, but then I see that, and I'm like,
One of my things
I
is
don't want
like-
to like, I don't want to have one cool tattoo here, then one goofy tattoo on this arm. I feel like that'd be weird.
Yeah, if I got like a tattoo that I really liked at the time, and then later down the road, like 2 or 3 years, I look at it and I'm like, I
Don't
I
want
kinda
that.
hate
I
this.
don't really want this.
That's a lot of money that you have to spend to get it removed, and also a lot of money that you have to spend to get it tatted on you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Not to mention, I'm like so paranoid that I'm gonna get like the worst tattooer of all time, and he's just
Oh,
gonna
yeah, he's gonna fuck
absolutely
you
fuck,
up.
my shit
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
Yeah.
why if I decide to get a tattoo, I'm going to my dad because he knows people that are really good at giving tattoos. So I'm gonna put my faith in that. But
well, what kind of tattoo? Okay, so Adam, you've thought about getting tattoos. Kagan's thought about getting tattoos. I've thought about getting tattoos. What about you, Ethan? Have you ever thought about it?
I want a tattoo that's Bugs Bunny holding a dynamite stick on my arm.
That's kind of badass.
I feel
I'm
like
not
it's
gonna
so random though. Like
I like
no,
it.
I should get the one
Context?
of Bugs Bunny in a tux holding a gun and smoking a cigarette.
The gangster, the mafia bugs.
You
or
should
whatever.
get the Bugs Bunny sitting at the bar, really depressed, ears flooped down, holding a drink. It's like
have a Bugs Bunny life
we used
cycle.
to have 24-hour Walmarts and $1 McChickens. We had it all.
Dude,
Bars
people
would
get
fall in.
crazy tattoos, but I like whenever they're inventive. I think one of the episodes that we had a while back was, I think it was Over Under, and Kagan, correct me if I'm wrong, Kagan talked about like genital tattoos or something like
That's
that. It might have been a
brave.
recent one. It might have been a recent one.
I've talked about genital tattoos
But
before.
I would never get one myself, and you know, your body, your choice. You can do whatever you want with it, but I'm gonna say that those kinds of tattoos I like whenever they're creative. So I'm like, hell yeah. Like, go ahead, King.
I'm very biased on tattoos. It's like
Yeah.
I think they're cool, but it's also I feel like too many of them make you look like a dumpster. Make you look like I feel like they make you look like a graffiti dumpster if you have too many of them. It's like putting lipstick on a pig. It doesn't make you
should
prettier.
Put one in the thumbnail.
Damn.
A
What?
graffiti, you should put a graffiti dumpster in the thumbnail.
But it just feels like putting, lipstick on a pig. It's like you're not getting any prettier by putting these tattoos. Are the people that get face tattoos like?
I feel like there are certain face tattoos.
Face fat tattoos.
tattoos that work.
Yeah, when it's someone's name above your eyebrow, that's
No,
real
stuff like
inventive.
that
That's
is-
real cool.
For me, I feel like there's like two main types of people that have face tattoos. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we'll say two.
All right.
No, we'll say three.
Okay.
Three. Gang members,
Yeah.
convicts,
Yeah.
and rappers. those are the three
or
people.
wannabe
What's the difference?
gangsters.
Yeah, or wannabes. Obviously,
mean-
wannabes of any of those three things. That's like what comes to my head whenever I think of face tattoos.
it is different if you get your whole face tatted up as opposed to like a sleeve, you know, because it's not, you know, it's hard for me to
how people
describe
perceive
this.
you as your face.
Exactly. So you can't get rid of that. Any job interview you go to, like anything, any pictures you take with anyone else, you know, that's there forever. That's not going anywhere. You like,
Usually the people that I meet that have like all those face covered tattoos are
Yeah.
like the nicest people ever.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
They're just
most
really
of the time,
scary as fuck to look at.
most of the time, yeah. Okay. So yes, most of the time, a lot of the time, whenever you meet somebody with a face full of tattoos, they are really nice because they don't give a fuck
Yeah, they've
what
got,
people
like,
think.
lip
You know, they just. I
rings
mean,
and nose
There's
rings.
this.
Yeah.
And to be clear, like we're just stating like, you know, what we think about certain body modifications and like
Right.
just talking about them in general. And anybody who wants to get a face tattoo, that's perfectly fine.
Go
for
like
it.
if,
Right,
if
right,
that's
right, right.
if that's what you want, you do you. This is just like our personal opinions and like whenever we see something like that or what we think of whenever we see something like that.
and I wouldn't say we're all just dogging on it. Either.
Yeah,
It's just,
and we're not. I don't. You know, if you have a face tattoo, I don't like hate your guts
Yeah,
or anything.
yeah.
No.
But like, if you have a face tattoo, it's just like it kind of just throws me off for a minute because, like I said, those four types of people are the only people that come to my brain whenever I see a face tattoo.
I don't like the like. I get the argument, but
which I guess that's stereotyping, but you know.
Which I'm like I said, I'm very particular with tattoos in location, like on your body. But their response is, "Well, my tattoo's not for you." It's like, well, I understand that, but I'm still going to tell you how it makes me feel. That doesn't mean I hate you or the tattoo you have. I'm just.
I mean,
like,
that's
It
what I was
just
saying.
activates my
Most
fight or flight sense.
most people that have all those tattoos around their body, they're just they don't care. They don't give a shit. So
See,
even if you do give your opinion, they're probably just going to be like, "I'm fine."
well,
with
and
that."
that's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
I
If
don't-
You want it.
Okay.
really, the only like kind of tattoo that really just absolutely ruins me and is like I cannot look at you is the people who get like their eyeballs tattooed.
I
Yeah,
wanted to
that-
talk
I
about. I
cannot
wanted to talk
handle
about
that.
that. So that's
People
that's
who
an-
like tattoo the entirety of the white of their eye
that
black.
is an
like,
irreversible procedure. You
That
know, like
shit-
body tattoos, they can be revert. You know,
to an extent, yes.
To an extent, yes. But with eyeball tattoos, that is a non-reversible procedure, and there is a small percentage that it can make you go blind. It can
Yeah.
fuck you up, like
I
especially
mean, you're filling your eyeball
with ink. Yes.
Well, it's
Yes.
only that top layer.
So it doesn't. It like what I've read. If you get the procedure done and you don't go blind, it doesn't affect your vision. But
It's interesting. How they
yeah,
figure
if
that out.
if they fuck up, if something goes wrong, you're blind.
I'm
I
gonna
had-
put a needle in my eye.
I don't know.
Also, I don't know how the fuck you do that, dude.
That's
Like
like
you'd have to
literally
have nerves of
human.
steel.
Like I've as soon as I picture somebody taking a needle gun to my eyeball and I picture it just popping like a water balloon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, there's that one chick on Instagram I've showed y'all before, and I sent with the caption, "This woman legitimately scares me," because she had like those eyeballs that were tattooed completely black. Her face was
Yeah.
covered in tattoos.
She had like a split tongue or something.
She had a split tongue. Her two front teeth were sharpened, and the rest were like really small.
I know. Yeah.
And I was
They
like,
must go crazy then.
I was like, I wouldn't want to get head from something that looked like that. I would be scared.
All teeth.
I don't think I could. I don't think I
Ow,
could get there.
ow.
Like, turn the lights off.
Alvin getting teeth. But yeah, like any tattoo, like anybody who has any kind of tattoo, like yeah, there's certain ones where I'm just like, oh, that's unconventional.
Yeah.
But whatever, you do you. But eyeball tattoos, I just cannot handle it.
I don't like when people get tattoos of like company brands, like
Like a Coca-Cola tattoo on
Well,
their
so
forehead.
there was this lady at Walmart one time. I saw she had the Michael Jordan logo tattooed on her arm, and it's like, why? Why out of all things did you choose the J?
I think I'm gonna get the Amazon logo tattooed on my leg.
It'd be different though if like you hear about these things all the time where a game company or something or any company will be like first person to tattoo this on their body and they'll get this amount of money and you know
I still
sometimes
wouldn't
people
do
are paid
that.
for
It
that.
reminds me of the Lord Farquaad meme. The slave has fallen in love with the system that exploits them.
Or
I mean that's part of the deal, man.
See,
Most of the time they don't even get money. They're just like, shout out to this guy who got this
Just
tattoo.
bragging rights. Yeah,
it's
all
like
that.
the it makes me think. This is a little bit off topic, but it makes
go
me
ahead.
think of the couple that Bethesda like put out. It's like if you name
I
your
was thinking
child
about this, too.
Dragonborn or something, you
feel
get
like we've
like
talked about
free
that
Bethesda
sometime
games
before.
forever. And some couple went and did it, and like
Yeah.
they named their kid Dovahkiin.
He was born on 11/11/11, the date that Skyrim came out.
Yeah.
I think Game
and
of
his name
Thrones did
was
something like that too.
His name was John Dovahkiin something, or Tom Dovahkiin something.
I mean, at
John
least they didn't make the
Dovahkiin
first
Skyrim.
name.
John Dovahkiin Skyrim.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
John Skyrim.
still. So
John
essentially,
Skyrim.
what they got was they got free Bethesda products for life, like
I
Oh
know.
wow.
all the games and all that.
Well, that
coming
was
out.
worth it. 76
was-
and Starfield were so great.
This was before Bethesda took a nosedive into the shitter, but you know,
But when it comes to tattoos, I really respect people who put something on their body that means something.
Yeah.
Yes.
It means something to them, and like, you know, that's just something that they hold near and dear to their heart, whether it's like in memory of like a past loved one, or like, you know, you're a huge basketball fan. When Kobe died, you got 24 tattooed somewhere because, you know, you were a huge Kobe fan. That's fine.
in memoriam. And
Yeah, and like I respect it. I do, because it's like you're committing to the fact that you want this immortalized on your skin.
Yeah,
And-
Kayla's brother, when he turned 18, he got a tattoo on his arm, and it's a scroll with Japanese or Chinese kanji on it.
It probably says fuck face or something.
I said, what does that mean? He says, it says never give up, and I'm like, that's funny
doubt
coming
it.
from you because you're about to drop out of high school, but you know,
Oh no.
it also looks like it was handwritten in Sharpie. It was not tattooed.
I mean,
well. It looks like
sometimes-
someone just took a Sharpie to it. And,
Sometimes people will like draw what they want, the design of the tattoo, and then give it to the artist, and then they'll do it just like that.
Oh, I would not. I'd be like, hey, you draw me the stencil. I want
Yeah.
you to have creative freedom with that, because I can't draw worth a shit.
Yeah.
Back to what
I'd-
you were saying though, Adam. Oh, sorry, go
No,
ahead.
you're good. I'd probably let Shay draw my tattoo because she can
She's
draw.
pretty good at
She's
drawing.
pretty good at drawing. I
She's,
like.
she's
I'd let Shay
sketching
or
up.
Alston draw.
Yeah, she's sketching up a couple of ideas for future tattoos for herself right now. I don't
Hell
know if
yeah.
she showed you
I
all those.
want that eyeball
They look pretty
one
cool.
she drew.
Not gonna lie, that one she's thinking about getting on her chest. I'm not too fond of that one. I know that's just my opinion.
Which one?
The beetle or whatever.
Oh, the moth.
Is it a moth? I thought it was a beetle.
It's a
She
moth.
has one that's like a big old. I think there was one that was a beetle, but right now she has like one that's like a moth with like wings spread.
Yeah.
That's another thing. That's one of my least favorite locations for tattoos. Is
Chest
on the
tattoo?
chest. Well, just in the center of the chest. I don't know. It's off-putting to me, and I know it's
You
weird
should
because
be
it's.
off-putting.
I know that's. I was about to say I know that's weird. since
Kagan's
it's in
out
the
here
center
like-
of the chest.
Yeah, Kagan's out here like, I'm just trying to stare at your cleavage. I don't want to see this art shit. And like,
getting in the way. That's what he's saying.
It's ruining the boo.
Adam, what you were saying about people getting meaningful tattoos, there are like some people that just do it for the high. They just like they're addicted to it. Like, oh, I need to get another tattoo. Oh, I need to get another one. Or they like the pain or something like that.
That's how
You know,
Kayla
they
and Shay
keep
were.
going
They're like,
back
I
and-
want another tattoo. They're addicting. It's like I mean,
So they're not necessarily meaningful. They
yeah,
just
because
want-
getting prodded with a needle 1,000 times sounds.
And I'm
fun.
not saying that they wouldn't be meaningful for Kayla and Shay. I'm saying some people just get tattoos just
to get a
because.
yeah.
Yeah.
And which at least Kayla and Shay's are like, they're
Yes.
like, they're like, artistically
Meaning.
sound and
Yeah.
they mean something.
I actually really like. I have favorite tattoos on Kayla and Shay. Kayla has a tattoo of I think it's a dog and a cat on her wrist.
Yep.
on her
And it's
right,
making
It's like
a heart.
it's like a really simplistic drawing, but
where
it's
her-
nice.
Right where
Yeah.
the bend in her arm
I
is.
I really like that
Yeah,
one.
and it's making like a heart shape.
yeah,
with her
and,
head.
and she really likes animals, so that makes sense, and it's meaningful to her. And
Yeah.
I like it.
Mom has one. It's like of an ocean wave, and she only has it because she likes the ocean.
I mean, that's completely understandable.
My dad
And
has
then-
a.
Sentimental value. behind it.
Shay has one on her wrist as well, I think, and it's is it an angel?
Fairy.
It's a fairy.
It's a fairy.
It's a naked
Okay.
fairy.
I like that one.
Thick-
Yeah,
a
she
thick-
has that one, and
a
then
thick naked fairy.
on
Yeah.
I forget if it's on the same wrist or if it's on her other wrist, but it's on the side of the wrist. It
diem.
says Carpe Diem, which is the whole
Seize the day.
seize the day, because
like that,
she
yeah.
got that one because she was a huge fan of Robin Williams and
Oh,
his
yeah,
movie
yeah.
Dead Poets Society, great movie.
Yeah.
And when he passed, he meant a lot to her, and she wanted the Carpe Diem on her arm.
She should have got what the gorilla said when she died. Orange, give me, give. Orange, give you, give me, give. Orange, give me, give you.
I feel like getting that in Morse code, like or along your wrist or like something like in a bracelet form.
One thing I love in tattoos is whenever they're abstract. Whenever there's something that really only means something to you unless somebody asks about it, and then you can tell them, be like, oh yeah, this is this.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
I love simple abstract tattoos that everybody look at and be like, that looks cool. I have no idea what it means.
Yeah, there was a I went on a trip with it was a school trip with like 4 or 5 other people, and this one guy had just gotten a tattoo on his wrist or on his forearm, and I think it was a triangle. It kind of looked like the Pink Floyd
Like the prism.
yeah, the prism, and it had like 3 different. I can't remember exactly how it looked, but it was a triangle and it had like 3 different sections to it. And I was like, what is that about? And every time someone would ask him about it, he would say, live, laugh, love. That's what it means. But he was just fucking with you. And I was like, oh, okay. And he was like, I'm just fucking with you. And he told me that it was supposed to represent something else. I can't remember exactly what it was now, but that was funny to me. And something that just came to mind was, have you seen people that get Spotify barcodes
I think that's stupid.
tattooed to their body? So if you
Scan
pull
it,
up,
it's a
if you
song.
scan it, it's a song. It'll go to a certain
specific
song.
song.
Yeah.
I think-
it would
I think
be
that's
funnier
stupid,
if
but-
you did like
I like that idea a little
The
bit.
Rick roll.
Rick roll.
Yeah, like a QR code that takes you to the Rickroll YouTube video.
Patreon exclusive. We will pay for you to get a tattoo of a specific episode barcode, and you have to put it. It'll be.
on your ass.
Put it
On your
on the
asshole.
back of your head like Agent 47.
That's
and
what I was
Hitman.
thinking. Actually, just put them on. Just like brand them on the back of their heads or something.
with the Agent 47 barcode.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
mean, that
get-
kind of goes hard.
I'm gonna get a Planet Fitness like gym card barcode tattooed on the back of my head, so I can just walk into Planet Fitness and scan my
Scan
head.
your head.
Just slam your head on the counter and walk by.
Welcome in, Mr. Cheerios.
Oh no!
God damn
You're
it,
fired.
Kagan, are you fucking with me?
Oh no,
Welcome in, Mr. Cheerios.
Mr. Cheerios.
I love that video. The dude walking in and he just has a box of Honey Nut Cheerios and he hits the scanner with it. And you can like that's the thing that's been the meme lately is you can scan any barcode on
Yeah.
the fucking like on the gym barcode scanner for like the ID card and it'll just take it and you can go in.
Really?
Yeah, most of the time. So some dude walks in with a fucking box of Honey Nut Cheerios, scans the barcode and walks in, and someone made a follow up to it of the employee at the counter and he just leans over, looks at the computer. Welcome in, Mr. Cheerios.
Mr. Cheerios. That's funny.
It's so good. But my favorite kind of tattoo, I like simple abstract design. So like simplistic symbols like old school alchemy symbols and stuff like that, like the
Oh, yeah.
triangle for fire and the square for earth. And
Yeah.
like I just very simple things that have some kind of meaning that can be derived from them without like just blatantly stating it on your skin. Like
I've seen some people have like you mentioned like alchemy and stuff. I've seen some people have the Minecraft like alchemy symbols tattooed to their body. It's pretty cool.
Enchanting.
The enchanting, yes.
Like the
yes.
enchanting language?
Yes.
I've seen people with like the dragon language from Skyrim tattooed on their
Yeah.
body.
There's some really cool ones. Our buddy Alston was
what's the
talking
mark of the
forever
outsider?
about a tattoo, the Mark of the Outsider tattoo on his hand.
That'd go hard.
From Dishonored, and it would go stupid.
Because it's a simple abstract design that most people don't know what it is.
Similarly, there's another simple design from Naruto. It's a Anbu Black Ops symbol. It goes on their arm, and it's basically just like a half swirl and a half swirl on top of each other. It's a very simple design. It kind of looks
Yeah.
like an ember, but
saw-
badass.
I love simple designs.
Yeah.
I saw one tattoo, and it was just a woman got a Chalupa Supreme from Taco Bell tattooed on her arm.
Okay, whenever I was younger, my mom had a friend who had a tattoo on the top of her foot that kind of like it was from like here in the middle of the top of the foot to like kind of a little bit up the front of the lower leg.
Yeah.
It kind of just filled that curve. And it was a bee in a slingshot. Like a bumblebee in a slingshot.
Go hard.
My sisters.
I don't know.
I don't know about
Both
that.
my sisters have tattoos, and they're both stick and pokes. Except my sister Kylie has
They're both
one
what?
stick and pokes. So like you literally just get like a needle with ink, and you
Oh,
you do
okay.
it yourself.
Yeah, I've never heard of that term.
She has one that's like an
You
eye.
said stick and poke, and I was like, what is that, like a scratch and sniff?
No, there's one
Scratch
that's like
and sniff
she has
tattoo?
like an eye like on the inside of her finger. She has the word sweet tattooed on her hip from in stick and poke.
That's good.
She has one that was actually done. It's a dream catcher on the side of her head, right behind her ear.
That's pretty cool.
and it looks
Yeah.
pretty good. And then she has a snake on her finger.
I don't really like whenever people get jewelry tattooed on their body.
Jewelry?
Yeah, like necklaces or a ring.
There's
or...
a guy at work that has a rosary tattooed on his arm. It looks cool because
Oh,
it's it's tattooed like it's wrapped around his arm.
Yeah, so
That's-
it's
that's
like a
different.
sleeve.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
That is
Yeah,
cool.
and I think that one looks cool. It's a little faded. It needs a touch up, but I like the way it looks.
Dude,
It go hard.
my dad has one of the worst tattoos.
Yeah.
It's like supposed to be a very simple cross, just like a few curved lines kind of bent together into a cross
Yeah.
kind of shape. And the artist who did his tattoo did not know how to do tattoos because it is all like
fucked
wonky and the proportions are weird and it's kind of like asymmetrical. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it's a cross. It's supposed to be symmetrical.
Yeah.
And it is just not.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it. And
No,
he
I was
hates it too.
sorry. I was thinking about something else. I was thinking that's not cool. That's not pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
But I was thinking of an
Abstract.
actual cool tattoo, and it's abstract. But it's very detailed, actually. I worked with a guy one time, and he had a full sleeve, and he would get different tattoos, smaller, bigger tattoos, like gradually, And he had this one that was on his forearm, and it was kind of like an Andy Warhol warped clock.
Mm-hmm.
And the tattoo itself looked, his arm wasn't wrinkly, but the tattoo itself looked kind of like it was folding over his.
Oh.
It was really well done. It was very detailed. I don't know if this is the best way to explain it, but it kind of looked like the clock was on his forearm, but it was folding inward, and it had wrinkles and shit
I think
on
that's
the.
an art piece.
It's very cool. It might have been, but it was pretty
I
cool.
want to say it's like an old.
Yeah, it
the
looked.
clock itself is melting.
I think it was Andy. That's Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another really cool thing I've seen in terms of like tattoos are people who like incorporate, like if they have like scars or anything like that, people who are able to work them into some kind of tattoo.
Yeah.
I've wanted to do that. I've got several areas on my body where
What would you do with that?
Like
though?
a
Like how would you
stitch mark or
incorporate it
something?
into a tattoo?
So the prime example I can think of, and this is like a pretty rare one, is like whenever somebody gets struck by lightning and they get like
Oh,
scars going
yes.
all the way, like all down that are kind of shaped like lightning, kind of
Yeah.
branching through their skin because that's where the electricity ran through their skin.
Yeah.
And people will get that tatted over into like black lightning going down their arm.
That's pretty dope.
That's dope.
Yeah,
And that is
cool.
rad.
I had this idea because I have a couple burns on my body that are kind of big. I had this idea to get like a little welder tattooed on it to make it look like he's welding up the burn, so make it look like he'd been.
Oh, speaking of, I've
pretty
seen
awesome.
a couple. Yeah,
I've thought about that. I got one right here. It's kind of faded because it happened years ago, but it's just this big oval from where I burned myself, and I want to get a little guy like a guy or two just welding it up, like have it like him trace like color over the spot where it was burned with like metallic silver to make it look
Yeah.
like a plate of metal, and then just welding around it. I thought
that
that'd
would be
kind
cool.
of funny.
I have two points on that. One that reminded me of people. I've seen a couple of tattoos where they'll integrate their body parts into the tattoo, if that makes sense. Like they'll make. I've seen one with Luffy on the forearm.
Oh yeah, and then
Oh, yeah.
And the person's fist will be part of the tattoo. As Luffy's fist.
Yeah.
That's cool to me.
I saw one the other day where it was Mario doing like the Yahoo.
Yeah,
That
I've
was the
seen that
wrong
one too.
Fist.
I
Yeah,
like
yes.
the ones that, like you said, kind of incorporate the body, but they also, what they do is like, depending, they can move their body in a certain way that'll make the tattoo do something.
Oh, like
So,
the
like-
stick man and the,
Yeah,
the
like the
trampoline.
dude who got
boing,
the,
boing, boing,
got
boing,
the
boing,
stick
boing.
man up here and the
Yeah.
trampoline down here, and he starts going boing, 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 boing.
You just
boing,
kind of
boing.
move your hand and it
have
makes
you
it
seen
move.
awesome.
Yeah.
that one tattoo? It's the dude. He got it tattooed here, and it's the little guy in the UFO piloting.
Dude, I
seen
really
that.
like whenever people do shit like that. And I've seen one where this guy got colored tattoos all over his body to make him look like an android or whatever the fuck. It was, I mean, it's cool. It's similar to what you're talking about.
That takes a level of commitment to the bit that I do not have. Cause
Yeah, like that's not going anywhere.
That's a big commitment, and it's like if you pull it off, it's hilarious.
Like
for
you
the rest
go to
of your
have
life.
you go to have intimate time with your significant other, and they just say you look like a transformer or something
So
like that.
it's like the dude who had
Fuck yeah.
the dude who
That's-
had
it's not a compliment.
the little alien piloting him. It's like, you want to fuck my little green guy? Like,
There's this
Dude, all I can imagine is when that person goes to sleep shirtless, that little green guy is just like, just there.
Speaking of
It's funny as
commitment
fuck.
to the bit to that, there's this. I follow a lot of like night pages on Instagram because I like nightcore shit. And
Cringe.
there's this one guy that he always records videos shirtless, but he has his torso is tattooed to look like he's wearing a breastplate.
Oh.
And it goes down to his arms, so his hands look like gauntlets, and it goes up. And I'm like, not gonna lie, that looks terrible. And he always wears a helmet with it. I'm like, that looks terrible. I would rather spend $6,000 on an actual suit of armor than getting it tattooed on my skin forever.
and the thing is, he probably spent $6,000 getting it tattooed on his skin.
That's what I'm saying. I'd rather spend that buying an actual suit of armor
You know, I think
that I could take off. You know.
I think
Nah, he's always ready.
if I could commit to the bit, I think what would be really funny would be getting a colored tattoo, a green colored tattoo, just on my palm of one hand, and then just like have the slap hands, just have a little
sticky hand.
yeah, sticky hands. Just have a little
Little green
fucking
string.
little string going down
Little
my
string and
forearm.
loop.
Yeah, and just go around slapping things.
That would be pretty
That would be
good.
funny.
I think you'd get a pass if you slap someone's ass. Just be like, "Did you slap my ass?" No,
No,
my
that's-
sticky hand.
And then they see it and they're like, "It's funny."
But
So it's
also still
okay.
sexual assault.
It's like the sticky bandits from Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
The wet bandits.
There were wet bandits in the first movie, and then the sticky bandits in the second movie, because Marv had all the duct tape wrapped around his hand.
Oh,
And he'd
yeah.
just like
They
he
changed
walked
their
by
name.
the Salvation Army collection bucket and just kind of dunked his hand in there. It came out covered in money.
I think I wanted to pivot to another type of modification.
Before we do, I would like to, with the tattoo segment, I would like to ask everybody if, like, I think we've said we've all considered getting a tattoo.
Yeah.
Any ideas? You have an idea, like one that stands above the rest
I
of,
told
like,
you-
if you got a tattoo right now, it would be that one.
Mine would be the little welders I was telling you about, welding up a burn scar I have.
Okay.
Okay.
Mine would be the Bugs Bunny one.
Okay.
That's every time I've asked him, it's been the same one. So
Yeah.
I think you should just get it. I think you're ready.
I mean, it's scary.
I'll get after this. We'll all get a tattoo together. Group tattoo sesh.
I've thought about getting spontaneous tattoos, like calling some of you and being like,
So,
"Want to go get a tattoo?"
I would have been like, yeah.
"I'll pay."
I mean, if you're paying, shit.
Shit, I'll
Hey,
get
and
whatever
I'm
you
going
want, dog.
all out. I'm getting a full sleeve.
No,
Okay,
I'm
there
getting
would
that
be
full-
there
that
would be a
full
limit.
body.
There would be a limit.
I'd be getting that full body Yakuza tattoo, just a tattooed suit.
To answer your question, the tattoos that I'd like to get are kind of cringy.
That was my vape. I
even
apologize.
to me. For the one that I've wanted for the longest time is just a band on my bicep, or on
so
my
2005.
or on my forearm just below the elbow.
I think like a barbed wire band around your back.
Not a barbed wire. Not a barbed.
Tribal.
Just not even. Well, maybe tribal. Actually, I think that would be pretty cool. But that, and also there is a what was it? No, I'm losing
Something
it.
from Naruto.
I'm losing it. No, it wasn't Naruto. Oh, Alston and I had talked about getting the Anbu tattoos, and that would be pretty cool. But the thing is, if anybody knew what that was, you'd either get a compliment or be like,
What do
"Dude,
you
really?
You're
Like-
a fucking nerd.
like, oh my god."
I'd like to get the Wings of Freedom tattooed on my back from Attack on
That'd
Titan.
be yours. Oh, that'd be fucking cool, dude.
No, I wouldn't do that. I do.
That
I
looks
love Attack
cool.
on Titan. I wouldn't mind putting something from Attack on Titan on my body.
I was
but
thinking
it would
about-
be something simple and abstract because that's what I like from things I like.
I did see one. It was an Attack on Titan tattoo that was, I think it was either on the bicep or the forearm, where it was Aaron's head whenever he got his head cut off. And then it grew back with I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, with like the little,
Of the-
like the spine, like the
Yes.
nerves coming out of it.
Yeah, so his head
and
was
it like
here.
branched down the arm.
I think his head was here at the bottom or the top of the forearm, and then the little skeleton thing was branched off into the wrist, and it was pretty cool. I think it was wrapped around.
That's pretty rad.
I could be misremembering.
I wouldn't do any. That's a little extravagant for
Yeah.
me. I like simple.
I'd never want a colored tattoo.
I probably wouldn't either. The one that, well, like at the top of my list right now is like I've always told Shay I've always kind of felt like I'm just kind of like floating through life.
I knew that
Yeah.
was where this was fucking going.
Like
Yeah.
like just kind of like, you know, I don't overplan things. I don't overthink things. I just kind of go with the flow, and wherever the wind takes me, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Where I go for the most part. Like I don't actively have a handle on my life as much as I probably should. So
Yeah.
I've always like kind of the idea was like I've always kind of likened it to like a feather, just like from Forrest Gump, like a feather floated, like just kind of like getting blown around in the wind or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I've considered the idea of getting a black feather somewhere, just
I like
either
that.
like right here on the forearm or something like that.
I like it.
Yeah. And like if I wanted more tattoos, I've considered I like how sleeves look, especially mainly just like lower arm, like upper arm. I don't really that I don't really care for as much, but like from the wrist, like the base of the wrist with the bottom of the hand up to the elbow.
Yeah.
I like sleeves there. I think they look pretty rad.
Oh, yeah.
And
I've
I've
wanted-
considered starting with a single black feather, and if I want more, I can make a whole sleeve with black feathers.
I think that would be
That
dope.
kind of just goes right here.
I've always thought a sleeve tattoo on this part of my leg would be cool. I like the leg sleeves.
What would you
That
get?
would be the least cool thing I've ever seen.
what would you get in a sleeve on your leg?
That's a good question. I just like I've seen some that I was like I like the way that looks. I don't know. It just appeals to me.
I've seen a lot of tattoos that I like the way it looks, but I wouldn't want it on me.
See, that tattoo idea, it started simple.
Yeah.
Okay. It started simple with just a feather. And then I was
then-
like, then I could add a sleeve of feathers.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I can make the sleeve go all the way up my arm.
That's how it starts.
And then
dude.
on my upper back, I can have like
Yeah.
a black bird, like a raven,
Yeah.
like right here, spreading the wings across to both shoulders. And the sleeves are falling off the bird and going down this arm. And then I can have like a cloud behind that bird and have lightning going down this arm.
It's like-
that's that's like the finale of the plan is lightning all the way up this arm,
Yeah.
feathers all the way up this arm, and culminating in like a bird in a thunderstorm, just kind of like on my back.
that goes hard, but it's kind of like it's exactly like how you get maybe you get one pet and you're like, oh, this pet has to have a buddy, and then you get them a buddy and they're like, well, they're gonna get bored of each other, so you get a third pet and then it just keeps going.
That guy needs a buddy
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So it just keeps going. So Kagan, what did you want to pivot to?
When people put silicone in their body.
Like
Or-
Botox?
No, so like
I was gonna say that seems a little bit more high level. Let's pivot to something simpler,
like
ears.
piercings.
like piercings.
Oh, yes.
Let's work our way up
Okay, so
to
piercings.
like the more ridiculous shit.
there is a piercing that I would like to talk about.
Taint.
Yes, taint piercings. Just kidding. So you guys know gauges, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You know, some people have crazy ones.
Dude,
Those the big
there's a guy
holes
who
in your
works
ears?
on the
There's a
earlobe,
dude at
yes.
Walmart.
There's a guy in the electronics section.
I know
at
exactly what
Walmart
you're
that has
talking about,
Gauges that
yes.
are like 3 inches
Well, he
wide.
took them out,
Yeah.
so now it's just the
Now
loopy-
it's just like loose earlobe.
just-
Okay,
Oops.
that's something that I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about. Like gauges, cool, but once you take them out, you just
You just have flappy loops.
what happens if
You
like
should
that
stick your
rips?
finger through it.
Intrusive thoughts, man. Intrusive
Dude,
thoughts.
put a padlock on
The
it.
idea of like just putting a finger through both of them and just yanking, like seeing what
Seizing
happens.
them in his
Dude.
handlebars and kneeing them in the face or something.
Whoever has
Tom and Jerry's
whoever
friend.
has gauges that big better pray they don't get into a fucking street fight. Someone's gonna grab them bitches and knee you
Dude,
in the face.
That's like whenever like those very eccentric like what's the word I'm looking for? Like women who have giant hoop earrings get into fights on the street and somebody's gonna grab that big old fucking hoop earring and yank and they rip their fucking earlobe in half. Like that always happens.
that happened to
I would do
Kayla.
that.
I'm
It's
like, you gotta take
Having a Kayla?
Yeah, if you look at her earlobe, she has slits down them because the her and her brother were wrestling around and he yanked on them and it ripped them out.
dude.
So if you look at her earlobes, there's like they're healed and they're back together, but there's like slits.
Yeah.
Cartilage
Instead
is
of-
able to heal like that
Yeah.
pretty well.
Yeah,
That's
if,
why-
if it's done pretty quickly, but that's also like
That's
if you
why-
ever see a dog get attacked in the ear, most of the time they don't stitch it up. It just
Yeah.
it'll heal and
It'll
it'll
heal
be
itself.
flaps.
That's why like there's the old cliche of like they're about to get in a fight and it's like, oh, let me take off all my jewelry, and it's like they take off all their rings, take off the necklaces, take out the earrings.
You're
because-
actively putting yourself at a disadvantage if you keep that shit in.
yeah.
Like,
Maybe
Poison
keep a
ivy.
ring as like as like brass knuckles, but you know.
Yeah.
a piercing that I wanted to talk about, like similar to gauges, I've seen some piercings that's like a gauge, but it's just below your bottom lip.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
I've
can
seen
see
those.
through your mouth. Like you
Or-
can see through your lip and look at your.
What about
you can
those
see your
gauges
teeth.
that they
I've
put
seen
in their
those.
noses?
They go right here, Ethan.
My thing is
just
like,
like a hole
food,
in your-
dude.
yeah.
Like how that even
You would
drinking
talk
something,
or,
something
like,
would come
breathe
out.
and it would whistle.
Yeah,
I bet your gums would get cold.
So like face piercings,
Okay, so my aunt
yeah.
is an RN now. She's gone through school, so she's not allowed to, have a bunch of piercings and stuff in. It's like studs in the ears, and that's about it. But whenever she was younger, she had 13 piercings. She had 4 in each ear, 1 in each earlobe, and then kind of going up the ear. She had 4 in each ear, so that's 8 of them. She had 1 in her eyebrow, 1 in her nose, 1 in her tongue, 1 going through here, and 1 in her belly button. So I think that's all 13.
Shit
1,
ton.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Those are a lot of places to grab.
Yeah, 13 piercings.
Also, a lot of maintenance, dude. People don't realize how much maintenance goes into having piercings.
Yep.
Like, especially like nose piercings, septums are really popular,
Yeah, yeah.
and you have to clean those regularly.
That's my sister got a nose piercing not too long ago. I don't think it was through the septum. I don't think my mom let that happen.
Also, like, imagine losing just one of those, like taking them all off to clean them, and then they're small, so you can lose them easy.
Yeah.
And that shit, like that, that would be too much to keep up with for
Now
me.
you got an extra hole in your face.
Or, somewhere else, your nipples, your
I-
balls.
Me personally, I would never
Okay.
get piercings.
Me neither.
Yeah.
But tongue piercings bother me the most because it's like
Tongue piercing.
I like to do this thing where I'll like scrape my teeth across my tongue, and if I had a piercing, I would just probably tear my tongue in
My
half.
thing is like if you like I bite my tongue pretty often, so if you had like a tongue
a
piercing
tooth.
and you bit, you'd probably chip a tooth or some shit, or make it shift a little bit, and then the hole would be wider, and then
What
like,
about-
bad stuff, man?
What about erogenous piercings? Like in your erogenous zone? So like people who get piercings through the nipples, women who get clitoral piercings.
My dad used to have nipple piercings. He used to have the rings on his nipples. He did, which is weird, but
like
The door knockers.
My
It's like a
dad's
bull.
such like a
Yeah, just
my dad is such like a formal dude in terms of like what he does for work.
that's funny.
He's like-
If you look
he
at
had
him,
it
he's
for
covered in
funny.
tattoos, and he has some aggressive nipples. So
Aggressive
he
nipples.
does, dude.
Can I just say, if I see a woman that, well, I don't know how I'd see it, unless
Yeah.
it's like online on sites that I shouldn't mention, but women with clitoral piercings, I have the most respect in the world for you because that is like literally just a bundle of nerves. It's like,
you got
shooting
one of
a
those.
piercing through that is like respect on God.
I feel
those
like if you
people
got
that-
one of those, it would feel like a Spartan shield bursts from Halo or something. 'Cause your whole nervous system is like a screenshot.
It'd be like Aang at the end of the second season of Avatar. Just,
Or those people that get the rings through their dick hole, like it goes through dick hole.
Your body would do a hard reset, dog.
Yeah, I would be like Wally rebooting.
oh, looks like I found your factory reset button.
I could if I got a genital piercing. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I'd go through with it.
Dude, imagine you getting a stud straight through your nutsack.
I'm pretty sure I've heard of people doing something similar to like gauges in the earlobes to like their scrotum.
Why?
It's like just a rod that you put in.
It's
like
a glass window, so you can
It's like
see
you
inside.
take. It's like you taste your. It said you taste your testes.
Oh, shit.
You take your testes and then you fold them and then you get a rod straight through them so they can be closer.
Shish kebab.
Kebab. And then you get the
together.
tattoo on the scrotum to make them look like, assorted grilled vegetables and meats, like on the kebab.
Or you could have like Spider-Man or something holding them together or some shit.
Toby Maguire
Yeah. Yes.
making the face.
That would be fucking great, dude.
Found the clip.
Yeah.
What time are we at?
I'm wrapping up the time. It's like 54, 50 something.
This isn't really a piercing, but have y'all seen that cursed image of someone put a septum piercing to their toenail? Have you seen
It gives me, dude, it gives me the same energy as like the image of somebody putting nail clippers on their two front teeth.
No.
But dude, any cock, like I do know you can get studs on
Any cock.
any cock piercing. I know you can get studs on like the bottom shaft of your cock, like the bottom of the shaft that just kind of, it looks like a dragon neck. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Ribbed for her pleasure.
Could you imagine if any of those got caught in like a hair or something? Hell no.
Dude,
I don't understand people who put like piercings on their actual shaft because I feel like that makes it more prone to infection and all that.
On God, it's like a split
like-
tongue. If you
feel
split
like-
your dick and be
Yeah.
like,
I feel like with sex though,
You pee two ways.
You'd be going in, then you just bump against something just wrong, and it's like a
like a turning fork.
yeah,
you go. "Oh."
magic dowser, magic dowser.
What if
Show
a-
me the well.
sounding rod piercing. Oh my god. Adam, you get
no.
the ring piercing that goes through your head, but it's a sounding rod as well. So you just
Ding. You can
Check
test
this
it.
out, party
Dude,
trick.
that's like, so like they have special sounding rods and shit. Like, okay, so it's like on old boats, like old ships, like wooden ships with sails, that old. So they had a system, because obviously it was wood, and like they sealed it as best they could, but it's not completely watertight. So the bottom of the ship would occasionally just have water. Most of the time they did have water in them, and there was like an acceptable level, and they had like special pumps that they would use to pump the water out. And they had what was called a sounding rod built into the like deck of the ship, and you'd walk up to it and you'd hit it and it'd tell you how much water was in the bottom of the ship and whether or not it needed to be pumped out. So getting one of those to going down your shaft, and it's like, oh, it's like, you want to have sex tonight? I don't know. Let me see how full the tank is. Ding.
Be a great way to see. Like,
Yeah, I got about half a tank. I think I'm good.
oh my God, I was about to say piss was stored in the balls. It's like that's a great way to see how much you got in the tank. If
Get
you got
another one.
piss.
Get one going up and get two. One
Yeah.
going into your balls, one going into your bladder. Like,
True.
and you are right. Piss is stored in the balls and poop is stored in the butt cheeks.
That makes so much
That's why I got
sense.
so much ass and why I shit so much, dude.
There, penile removal is also a body mod, and people get it quite often, actually.
I've seen a dude do that on Live Leak with a knife. He just cut
Yeah.
it off with a
Yeah,
knife.
I've seen
Just
that
because
one.
he wanted to.
Dude, so much blood.
I
Have you seen the
can
one where
only
the dude
imagine.
takes the screw and he screws it into his
Dude,
dick hole?
Yes, I've seen the video of the guy who laid his schlong on a wooden table and then just took a nail and like a few nails and a hammer and drove like 6 nails through the head of his penis.
Were they 9-inch nails?
No, they were like 6 inches.
Take a
Oh,
sheet
man.
of paper, grab the shaft, run it over the slit on top.
Swipe a piece of paper.
Consider the phone.
So it's,
No,
Jake,
you swipe it like a credit card.
Declined.
penile remover's one thing, but I looked
Declined.
up one. It's called penis splitting, where they literally
Oh,
just
yeah,
split it down the middle.
That's what I was talking about earlier. It's like the forked tongue.
Yeah, they just
you
split it down the middle,
piss
so
both ways.
it's just 2 halves of the same dick.
Imagine just having to that would cause so many issues. All you got to do though, quick fix.
Take a
zip
staple
tie.
gun. Or zip
Zip
tie.
tie, just
No, you just route that.
kinda fold
That
it
could
together.
be useful.
yeah.
You just route each tube into a different dick, so you have one to fuck with, one to piss with.
But yo, shit need cable management, dog.
Well, see, no, you just fucking route it into
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
just
yeah,
route it
yeah.
into
This one's
each
for
different
sex.
shaft.
This one's for
This one's for fucking. This one's for
Piss.
pissing. Like,
Dude, if aliens are real, they're fucking terrified of humanity. Because this shit is cursed.
I choose to think that we're just reality TV for them.
It's like
Earth is
Show
Butcher.
up like,
ghetto.
what are those Kardashians
We're in the
up to
ghetto
this
part of the
time?
Ethan, it's like Butcher. Don't worry, you can get a lot worse.
It's like fucking a snake having 2 cogs at the same time. Jesus
What?
Christ.
What the fuck do
Yeah.
you mean fucking a snake?
Snakes have penises that are twice.
that are twice.
Double dick.
Dude, snakes have twice the dicks you do.
What about horn implants?
Horn implants? Usually those are like silicone.
Oh wait, moving on to We done
Oh
with
shit,
piercing?
we can do implants next. Are you guys?
Y'all
done with-
consider getting a piercing?
No.
No, never.
never
I haven't.
have.
I've never considered it.
Never, not once, ever. Okay, moving on. Silicone implants.
Easy.
Yeah. So there's those ones that you can get where it's like certain shapes, and I saw this is the one that grosses me out the most. It's that dude that has like a ring implanted in his hand, and that bitch squeezes ranch into it, then she dips a chicken nugget in it. It grosses me out so fucking
Wait, are you
much.
talking about the divot that's in the
Yes.
hand?
Yeah, what they do is they'll cut open in the side and they'll slide like a silicone or a glass thing in there.
Okay,
and
so
then
this is
just-
not temporary.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you could get it taken out, but
Yeah.
But yeah, in that video, she fucking
Ugh.
pulls his hand over, pours some Hidden Valley Ranch in the divot, then just dips a chicken nugget in
Can
it.
you imagine like you lose like your phone in your car, like below your car seat, and you try to dig for it, and you can only get like half an inch because you got a fucking ring in your hand.
imagine trying to get anything out of your fucking pockets.
True.
It's the same as like having a pop socket on your phone. I never put a pop socket on my phone because like, how the fuck am I supposed to pull it out of my pocket? It's gonna get hung on it every time. Like,
Yeah.
But I love that idea though, Kagan. You just go to a restaurant and you're like, we can get you a bowl for your sauces.
It's like,
and you're like,
no
no need. Just pour it in my
hey,
hand.
yeah, that's useful. That's practical. I like that one.
Go to Olive Garden and they say, "Tell me when." No, fill it in this. And
So
then
with
they'll
the
just-
cheese.
You'll
just say when.
and then you'll just backhand pour it into your
And
pasta.
just be like, okay.
More.
More.
Or they'll use it and they'll get like the horns in their head.
Horn implants, yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I didn't think of this when we were talking about removal of stuff, but where people get their like noses and ears cut off.
Oh yeah.
Where
Yeah.
they'll straight up just get their ears cut off and their noses cut off to the base, and they look like a fucking orc.
I don't know how the fuck that. How?
I don't think that should be allowed. I feel like as a doctor, I'd be like, no.
Who do you serve?
Who do you serve?
It's like, I'll pay you good money. I don't give a fuck. I'm not cutting off your ears, you psycho. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't know why people do that. They're
Do they
Dude
still
can't-
have ear holes?
Yeah, they still. Well, yeah.
Yeah, they have ear
Duh.
holes and then they have the big nose hole in the front of their face.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, they still have ear holes and everything, but they don't have ears. So it's like, how the fuck are they going to wear glasses?
Not to mention, just I can't even imagine the health problems that come from that, especially
Yeah.
well, not
I mean,
necessarily.
you'll never get a
I mean,
stuffy nose.
Not as much the ears because you still get a stuffy nose because sinuses are like inside your skull.
You'll just be
But-
able to see it.
Yeah, you'll just get to see all the stuff leaking out of the hole in their face.
It's like the.
Oh, it looks like
okay.
It's like it's time for an oil change.
Whoever the fuck you are, Adam. I said Kate, Ethan, and then I wanted to talk to
You,
you,
this
Adam.
bearded
It's kind of
individual.
like that. Reminded me of Rod Reese's Titan, where his face is like.
It's like fucking rubbed off. Rod Reese's, the inventor of the Reese's peanut butter cup.
Oh.
But no, in terms of like the ears, I imagine that's not as much of a health problem because you're not like all the ear stuff is actually inside of it's inside of your head, and like I think the actual like lobe really only does the job of like kind of helping to focus sound coming
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
So like your hearing wouldn't be as good if you got the ears cut off, but the nose does a lot. Like the actual like structure coming out of your face, that does a lot for you.
Yeah.
Because you have the nose hair that helps to catch and filter
and
things that are
regulate
coming in,
dirt
and
all
the actual like just the heat inside of the nose as well helps to warm up the air that's coming in. And like the hair helps to filter out any kind of debris or dust or hair or other hair and stuff that comes in, and then like it actually does the job of like if it's cold out, it'll help to warm up the air that's coming in before it goes into your lungs, so you're not just breathing in completely frigid air.
Yeah.
Like of course the rest of your body does that too to some extent, but the nose really helps with that. So
Pretty
like
sure the brain would process that as like feeling of static,
yeah,
unfiltered air.
breathing that McDonald's Sprite air.
Yeah.
Got that
Electrified.
McDonald's Sprite, boy.
Boy, I wanted to talk about temporary implants, like bagel heads. You guys ever seen those? It's a temporary implant.
That
Never seen
sounds like a racial slur. Jane.
It.
God damn.
My sorry. It's a what?
It's kind of earlier. Okay, so like I said earlier, I was playing zombies, and I was playing Kino on Zombies Chronicles
Yeah.
on Black Ops 3, and I got Dempsey as my character, And every now and again, he'll call the zombies bone monkeys, and I'm just like,
That's a
that
slur
doesn't
straight
sound
up.
good.
So the bagel heads, it's a type of body modification that was pioneered in Canada, and it's temporary, 6 to 24 hours. You have it for that amount of time. It's swelling and
Oh.
distortion of the forehead created by a saline drip and often shaped to resemble a bagel or donut.
Yeah, I've heard of the injecting saline solution,
Yes.
salt water,
I would take a
essentially,
knife
and
and
it'll
pop
cause swelling in the skin that like will make some kind of shape or something like that, and it'll
I'm-
go
I'm-
away after like a day or two.
I'm pretty sure it's a cultural thing.
I would
So-
take like a glass. I have a pocket knife that has a glass breaking thing on it.
Yeah,
I would just.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was fascinating.
Like a cork.
The thing
It's a temporary one.
with the like actual implants is like I just don't really see a point.
I don't either.
It's like, of course, your body, your decision. Have fun, do whatever you want with it, I
Yeah.
guess. But it's like
Why?
I really don't see the
Why?
purpose here. What's the porpoise?
To each
porpoise.
their own.
And it's like, I mean, I guess
suppose.
if you're a cosplayer and you really want to commit to the bit of a character with horns, you can get horns put in on your forehead. But like,
Yeah.
and like at least that stuff, it can be removed. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really.
I've never seen the.
I
point
don't
of
get it.
Yeah.
I don't get.
Yeah, I saw one woman that had like a skin mohawk.
Oh, that was just a headpiece. I've seen
Oh.
that. It's not her actual head.
Okay.
But
I
it's
was
a
like-
headpiece,
I
and
had no
I thought it
idea.
was real at first too, but I saw pictures of it, and it's just
Okay.
yeah. There was one thing I saw that people do where you can give yourself like scars to look like certain things. So like there's this dude on YouTube I follow. I don't follow. He pops up in my feed a lot. He's like a sword trainer. He has a scar on his chest that resembles like 3 slash marks, like he got attacked by something.
Yeah.
Like on his chest.
That's
And
cool.
He talked about what they did. Essentially, they just took a scalpel and carved out that skin, and then just let it heal and scar up. So now he just has.
See, I
that
feel
on
like
him.
if I've always wanted kind of like an eyeball scar, kind of like Anakin Skywalker, but
Yeah.
bigger and more prominent.
I mean, Ethan, shit, we got a knife right here. I can do that. Just boys, hold him down. I'll just.
No,
Give me that face, boy.
I wasn't ready.
I think having like a fake eye.
That reminded me of a regular show episode. I think it was one of the Halloween specials where that I think his name was Percy. He was like, "I'm gonna draw on your face." He's like, I remember that episode so fondly. I loved it.
I remember watching
Loved it.
Muscle Man get his skin ripped off by a wizard
And Rigby turning into a house.
because Rigby egged his house.
Yeah, he turned it. Yeah, he got turned into a house.
Dude, that episode was dark.
It was
that episode
great.
kind of
I
scared
loved
me
it.
when I was a kid.
Yeah, it had some creepy moments, man.
Benson getting flushed down the toilet and the toilet overflowing and gumballs like spilling out
Yeah.
all over the floor. Skips straight up, just getting burned to death in the fireplace. Like,
Yeah.
Didn't Pops just get thrown into like a cupboard and
then it just disappeared.
It just despawned.
Just fell
yeah.
over and despawned. Yeah. Someone
Man-
hit clean up everything in Gmod and all the props disappeared.
Muscle Man got dragged into the woods and he came out with no skin. Was like, I told you I was ripped. And then he falls over and dies. I forgot what happened to Mordecai, but
Wasn't he
Rigby,
like
he
the
gets his
final
head cut
girl?
off.
Oh yes, he was.
and
Yeah.
then Rigby
he did
becomes
get
a
his-
house and the wizard just starts throwing eggs at him and goes, how do you like it?
Regular show is great, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. If we're done with the silicone implants, would y'all consider getting one of those?
No.
I have to
No.
think about it, 'cause
No.
it has to be cool.
A silicone implant?
To me, the silicone implants just make you look like you got a bunch of tumors.
Yeah,
So-
that's
True.
fair.
You blistering pile of
No, I wouldn't.
boils.
The next like type of body modification I want to talk about is like this one's going to be pretty brief, but I just thought about this is the kind in tribal settings of old tribes on islands or like
Of,
in
like,
Africa
The
that
bones.
do. The one that comes to my mind is the one where they start putting rings around
yeah.
the neck, and like little by little they'll keep
yeah.
adding a ring, and then eventually they stretch out their neck to like a foot long.
Yeah.
And after that, at that point, you have to wear the rings for the rest of your life because
Your neck would be all.
if you took them off, your neck couldn't support the weight anymore. The muscles have atrophied.
Damn. I haven't
Or like
thought
the
about that.
the lip in the plate, the plate.
Yeah,
in
the
lip.
plate in the lip where they like just where they just the
I was
bottom
thinking-
lip is like
yeah.
just the size
It's
of a
drooping.
plate.
Yeah. That was something I thought of whenever I mentioned the lip piercing, where you can see the inside of the person's mouth. But this is different. I think they're like the plates that they put in their lips are significant.
There's a reason for it.
I don't
forget the
know
reasoning.
what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's like a
I think it's a rank.
rite of passage or like a rank. Yeah, something like that.
With stuff like that, like it's a very old culture that can't. I mean, yeah, it's kind of strange, but it's like, well, that's what they do.
They do they.
Yeah.
They do they. They do
Yeah.
them.
Or those one tribes that'll put like the bones through their nose. Or
Oh, yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah.
Those are wild. Now another modification, cyberpunk.
I was
gonna
just about to
Prosthetic
say
limbs.
The
the future of
of
modification.
Prosthetic limbs.
the natural conclusion.
Like the people we already
unnatural.
we have some
conclusion.
stuff where like people have like some kind of like getting an RFID chip implanted in your hand for like your bank account, and it's like you literally swipe your hand over the card thing and it takes your card.
Yeah.
I love people that do that and people don't know what it is. It's like they'll walk into a gas station and buy a drink and they'll be like, "All right, time to pay," and they like start. Oh, and they just put their hand on top of it.
That's the
and the
thing,
person
though.
behind the counter is just like,
If I got that, if I got something like that, I would forget that I had it.
yeah. I would too.
Well,
my arm really
the money required to get that implant would probably make me
Remember.
Yeah, because I'd be like, I spent
Yeah.
so much
money.
on that fucking thing. Yeah,
Or
but-
like
yeah, go ahead.
another similar thing is like people getting some kind of like screen or display implanted into their
Yeah.
arm, and it's like they can literally like double tap their arm and they'll get the time and the weather and everything. Like
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like you could see your body, like your fucking bones or some shit. I was like,
No.
how does that even work?
no,
But I understand what you mean.
in
It's like a
terms of
little
like getting
screen.
an actual
Like
like,
an actual
interactive
screen.
like
Okay.
screen,
Yes.
like phone basically
Okay,
implanted
okay.
in their arm that they can fucking do stuff on like a touch screen.
Now, what happens if the battery gets really hot?
Your arm explodes.
Ooh, yeah.
Your
True.
your arm explodes.
I mean, because I would be on that shit all
Calling
the time.
reinforcement. I'd be playing.
I'd be
I'd be playing
Strategy
Strategy
Hero.
Hero. Subway Surfers and Angry Birds.
Temple Run. You know.
I want Cyberpunk to be real so I can get fucking mantis blades. That shit would
Do you
go
know how much
hard.
that fuck your shit up, dog?
What? They'd be taking my arms and giving me robot
But
arms.
Bitch,
still,
if I
like
had to stand Devistan, every government building in the world would be empty.
Watch it.
Okay then.
I meant like documents and everything, not the people. Jeez. I'd be stealing top secret information.
Watch it.
I made it worse.
Well, Kagan and Ethan are the first ones going cyber psycho.
yeah. Okay, I would. I probably wouldn't like anything from Cyberpunk to be on my actual body. To be
See,
honest.
the idea is so cool, but
It's
it's also
rad.
so uncanny.
Yeah.
Like the idea of like having some kind of bioelectrical replacement for my actual biology, other than it being necessary for like somebody like let's say they get their arm amputated, like they lose an arm, like
Yeah.
a veteran that lost his arm to an
If it was
IED or
needed,
something,
That's more practice.
yes.
and they came up with like a fully functional
That'd be dope.
robotic
Yeah.
arm that I've said this before. Once we figure out how the electronics of our body works, like our entire nervous system and the entire brain, because we still like the brain is basically the ocean of our body. Like
Yeah.
we still just don't really know how it works. Like we have a rough outline of like, yeah, that's there and this is here and this is kind of what deals with this, but we don't know anything about the deeper details and like how everything works.
Right.
Once we get that entirely figured out, that's whenever the integration of like technology with bodies or like the ability to do stuff like, for example, like fucking Sword Art Online, like full dive VR, like putting something on your head and just being like having your consciousness put into a virtual world to play a game. Once we figure out how
wouldn't
how
want that.
how all of the electronics in our body works, that's when that stuff starts happening.
I was gonna say, isn't Elon Musk or didn't he do
Neuralink?
something like that?
Yeah, he's trying to do Neuralink right now.
I want to
In,
say the monkey that they implanted it on,
Died.
like
They also
killed
put it in a
itself.
person.
Oh, they started.
He
human
uses it to
testing?
play
Yeah,
League
they've
of
started
Legends.
they've started human testing. I've actually seen
you say,
videos.
Kagan?
I said he uses it to play League of
Which
Legends.
it might I'm not gonna say this is 100% fact because I didn't research it super hard, but I remember distinctly seeing a video of the first quote unquote Neuralink implanted guy, and he went on Joe Rogan to talk about it. Obviously,
Wasn't he like a full body paralyzed, like cripple?
No,
because I remember that was like the first person they put it in was like a full body like quadriplegic.
I guess this guy was like the first like just standard no
Guy.
disabilities person who was allowed to, I guess, I don't know, be in beta for this thing. And I remember seeing a video, and like I said, this might be fake news. I didn't research super hard. I saw a video of the dude on Joe Rogan, and he was talking about like his experience with it. And it's not like it doesn't do anything crazy. Like it's not like a fucking
You can't like.
not virtual. It's not like an augmented reality device that like shows you a fucking HUD with the time on it or something. It's like it just kind of like shortens the amount of time that it takes you to do things and do actions. So like the way that he described it was like he would like think about grabbing his cup of water and it would be in his hand before he even processed the fact that his arm moved to grab it.
That's
That's
scary.
kind of cool.
That's scary. I would start fucking panicking.
Is that kind of thing? It has to be invasive, right?
Kinda.
I mean, they're putting something
Like
in your brain. I
he
feel like
volunteered for it, so he wanted it in there. But
As long as you like voluntarily want it, I feel like. it
Yeah.
should be
But I feel like that could be bad because he could think about robbing a bank, and next thing you know, he's running away from the cops.
Or he's thinking
he's
about
like Moon
masturbating, but he doesn't actually want to do it. He's like, that sounds
He's
nice.
like
And then,
Moon Knight in the track where he comes back, he's got the gun in his hand, and he's like,
it's like the Google search when it's like you look up "help I accidentally" and it autocorrects to "help I accidentally built a Jeep." It's the clip of Anakin Skywalker's "What have I done?" He sits down and there's just like a Jeep Wrangler in front of him. What have I done?
Yeah.
I would not want that.
When we were
done, though.
talking about
That's-
prosthetic limbs, I was thinking of the anime Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
The main character has prosthetic limbs, but they're called automale, and essentially what they are is they're in a prosthetic limb that the wiring connects to like the blood vessels and whatnot in the blood
And the nerve endings and shit.
in the nerve endings. So it ends up becoming like a fully articulated thing because the blood just circulates through the body part, and I thought that was really cool.
See, we're either gonna learn how to grow like. Just like basically make a copy of
a
somebody's
synthetic
arm,
hand.
Become lizards,
like an actual biological copy,
Yeah.
like grown from stem cells and with the proper fucking circulation and nerves, and just be able to connect all that stuff, and it'll just work as if their arm was never, lost.
Yeah.
Or fully functional cybernetic. Just kind of blood vessels aren't necessary anymore. You just close those off and they just kind of loop down to that part of the arm and come back up, and then find a way to connect the actual wiring of the cybernetic to the nervous system where it will still work, and the nervous system can send signals to the cybernetic and it will be able to process them and make the movements that your brain wants it to.
yeah. But
That's the
there'd have
thing,
to-
though, is we have
there'd
to figure
be
out how
no
the brain
in-
works and how those signals work and what they mean, and like decode the language of the nervous system.
There'd have to be no input delay either, because it's like,
Yeah.
if you want it, you'd want it to be identical to.
That scares me.
It'd be the
though.
opposite of the Neuralink, where it'd be like, man, I really want to grab my water, and it'd feel like, man, it's taking a while to grab my water.
I could have just used my
input
other
lag.
hand. Damn, my internet's bad. I can't use my
It's a
arm.
slow jack off. Faster!
And then it goes, it starts going like fucking crazy, and then
A little bit tighter.
And then your
That's scary,
Wi-Fi
though.
stops working,
Pops
so your
the end
arm
of
just.
because that reminds me of RoboCop. You know that scene where they show him what he looks like, and it's
He's like,
just his
"There's
head, his
nothing
brain. He's
left."
like, Jesus Christ, there's nothing left. Yeah, like,
Yeah, he was like
Yeah.
nothing but a hand, a pair of lungs in his
I hate
head.
that. I would hate that.
The idea is, see, that idea of the Neuralink, then like what the guy described it as like being like, I'm gonna grab my water and it's in his hand before he even like notices that his arm grabbed it. That idea is very cool and also terrifying. It's
very
because it
dangerous.
feels like you have no agency.
Yep.
It feels like
CIA
it feels like basically that your nervous system has a mind of its own. It's like
It's like
it's like
Armathy and
you
Rick
have-
and Morty.
Yeah. It's like you have your mind and then the Neuralink is the brain of your body. So it's like,
Me and my
just kinda,
sentient arm.
Yeah, you'll just kind of like haphazardly have the thought like, yeah, I think I'm going to do this, and your body will just be already doing it. It's like, but that could be useful. It's be like,
Miss input.
imagine being like, I should probably wash the dishes, and then you're washing the dishes. Like,
Yeah. Hey, it'd make you more productive if it was like that. You just thought of doing something productive and it just does it.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, if you're sitting on the couch and you think about it, what if your arm just starts like reaching for it, like
Yeah. And
you're like, whoa,
The thing is-
Fido!
what would it do while you're sleeping? Like how would dreams work, bro? Like,
And it'd just be doing this in a third person view. Your arm just be
yeah,
flailing all over.
Absolutely.
And the thing is-
Soccer girlfriend.
yeah.
the way I've
It just goes through her face.
the way I've described this Neuralink thing that the guy talked about makes it sound like it's just fully automated now
Yeah.
and he has no agency over his body. He still has agency over his body. It's just more like
His arm is sentient.
his body moves way more efficiently than it used to. There's like it's like basically the Neuralink takes away any input delay. So like there's always a little bit of input delay to your body. You don't notice it because it's like you
It's
know
like a split
me
second.
Yeah,
having a seizure
it's-
because I forgot to pay for premium Neuralink and now it's playing Spotify ads.
That's what I was about to say. I was thinking of that earlier. It was like I can't wait for
Wanna
stuff
break from
like
the ads?
Neuralink to go mainstream, and you have to pay the premium fee. You get ads streamed directly into your eyeballs. Like,
So at night you're just sleeping, then your eyes roll into the back of your head and you hear, "Want a break from the ads?"
Or imagine if you're driving, you're fucking your account is charged, and then they're like, "Oh, you're in the negative," so you just get hit with an ad while you're driving.
I can't see,
Motherfucker!
Fidelity. I paid you already.
Magnums aren't even good. Crashes. Yeah.
but no, it doesn't make the processes just like completely
Yeah.
autonomous.
Yeah.
It just makes them quicker. It's like instead of like having the thought to grab something and then you do grab it, but it's more of like a manual thing. It's more like you have the thought to grab something, and as soon as you have that thought, your body's already going for it.
Have you seen that that video of that guy who's doing a video to just like demonstrate his prosthetic arm? Like his
And it
like-
starts going. Yeah,
it starts doing the jack off motion
And
really
he's like trying to turn it off, or like
and then it starts on the table and it just bangs until it's in his lap.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
It's like, bro, you forgot to erase his history.
didn't put my arm in incognito.
I feel like with the Neuralink, if you have like an intrusive thought, the Neuralink will make it a reality.
That is something
like
I
I
was
said,
thinking.
it's not fully automated. Like,
it's like, man, I think
it's
I should
not
make a
like
pipe
just
bomb.
completely automating your movements.
Like while you're fucking
it's
cut-
like you basically have to fully commit to what you're about to do. It just makes that more efficient. Just by that split second. And it's like you don't think like right now, if you feel like I'm waving my hand right now, this feels instant. But
Yeah.
basically it just like make it be like, it would just feel like a whole nother world of fucking
Like there's zero delay.
no delay whatsoever.
Still
this
fucking
baby.
terrifying.
Like it sounds awesome, but
In theory.
horrifying at the same time. Would y'all
There was-
consider getting it?
No.
I am very on the fence.
If it was more compact and it wasn't like like a protruding.
If there was a
thing out of your
guarantee
head.
that Elon Musk would not exploit my brain, then yes. But
Yeah,
I
true.
feel like he would use it to make me build a Tesla.
buy Tesla.
I don't want your shitty truck. Leave me alone.
Dude, that's all it would be is Cybertruck ads.
True.
The best truck on the market. An aluminum frame is not a good idea for a truck.
The best truck on the market. It's like, starting MSRP, $40,000. That's a fucking lie. You remember that? At the reveal for the Cybertruck, he was like, here's the price that we'll be starting at. And it was like $39,000 and change. And it's like, now if you try
They're
and buy one,
$90,000.
you're not getting one for cheaper than $100,000. Like,
I've seen the base model with nothing special is $90,000
Yeah.
so I lied.
For-
You can get something cheaper than $100,000.
for a truck with an aluminum frame. Have you seen that one dude on YouTube who just like he demonstrates how bad it is? He just slammed the door.
Oh yeah.
And then he couldn't open the door. Like it broke when he slammed it. And like he had to rip off the side panel just to get back into the
What about the
car.
dude who went to the beach with his family and on the way home he had a bunch of sand on his Cybertruck, so he took it through a car wash real quick, and when he got home, and then whenever he tried to start it the next day, it won't start anymore. Car wash bricked his car. Apparently there's a setting before you go through a car wash, you have to put the car in car wash mode so that
what?
it won't short out any of the wiring.
You'd think that would be a feature.
And he was
that
talking about
built
it
in.
being an all-terrain vehicle. It can't even drive up a fucking hill. It drives through a puddle and 3 things break. Like,
About to say,
I've
if
seen
they can't
videos
handle
of
a car wash, what the fuck does it do in rain?
I've seen videos of people driving off the lot, and on the way home in their Cybertruck, it breaks, and it breaks down on the side of the road. Like,
Yeah.
they're ridiculous.
The frame is aluminum. They were doing like a hauling test, and it didn't even. As soon as the car drove off, the frame snapped in half. I think
I
I think
love
it was
how-
pulling against like it was. They were testing it against like a Ford F-250. Just a real workhorse of a truck, a
Yeah.
Super Duty Ford F-250. And what they did was they would
Duty.
compare it. So like they would have the F-250 do something, they would have the Cybertruck do it. And they were seeing the towing capacity. And the Ford F-250 pulls the Cybertruck perfectly fine. No issue. The Cybertruck does it, and its frame fucking snaps in half as soon as it starts driving.
I love how
Probably
the-
made of like aluminum.
It is
It
made of
is.
aluminum.
It is.
Aluminum and plastic.
And I love he advertised the truck as bulletproof. Have you seen the videos of people testing that?
yes.
Yeah.
22 long rifle made it through the door. 22 long rifle.
Didn't he test
Like
that,
the
at
weakest
the
caliber
review?
ever.
Didn't he say the
He threw,
windshield
like,
was
a
also
metal-
bulletproof?
A ball at it or something, and it just.
Yeah, the ball didn't go through, but it did fucking just immediate, just
Yeah.
shatter. And he was like, oh, maybe you threw it a little too hard.
Have you seen the video where he's like, now look at these indestructible windshields, and he gets up on it and puts one foot on it that shatters. And he's like, oh, that's not supposed to happen.
Dude,
Whoops.
the Cybertruck is a clown car.
It looks like shit. It can't fucking work. Yeah,
we
dog. I'd
need
love to have
are
to put
the-
my car into waterproof mode in order to drive it in the rain.
What we need are the taxi cabs from Cyberpunk. The autonomous taxi cabs.
Oh yeah, Delamain.
Delamain, yeah.
That'd be cool.
I
be
haven't played Cyberpunk.
You need to.
Should. That's a good side quest too, boys.
Those cars keep you safe. Okay.
Nice conversation.
Fuck you.
Okay, here's my final segue on the in the body modifications section.
Would you consider getting a Cybertruck, a Cybertruck,
Cybertrunk.
a
Cybertruck?
Cybertruck
Damn.
implanted into your body?
I transform into one?
Morty, I genetically changed your DNA so
Yeah.
you could transform into a
That's what I was
Cybertruck.
thinking about.
But the final thing I've thought about is those people who deliberately blind themselves or cripple themselves so that they can be. I think it's called like
Blinding.
it's called like trans disabled or something, or what's the word? They're like
that's what they call themselves. Yeah, they'll like give themselves a disability willingly
Yes.
because they want to
They
be that
believe-
way,
well, or they
think
believe
they're
that they
supposed
were-
to be that way.
there was one lady who poured bleach in her eyes, literally, and blinded herself because she believed she was supposed to be blind. Or people that will intentionally break
If
their
you were,
legs.
you would have been born
Which
blind.
that's a little different from other body modifications because those people do have a genuine mental illness that
Yeah.
causes them to do that.
But you're still modifying your body in a way that's irreversible.
Yeah, and no, it's not the same as like being transgender or whatever. Like this whole
Being
idea.
transgender is fine. All that's fine. When you're literally blinding
Yeah,
yourself because
this
you
is-
feel like you're supposed to be
What
blind.
is it like? Is that Stockholm syndrome?
Stockholm
Stockholm
syndrome
syndrome.
is whenever you have like a love for your abuser,
Okay.
basically.
Okay. So I'm thinking of something else. Never mind.
And then you have it's
There's a term for
it's
it.
similar to Munchausen syndrome where it's
It's
like
basically a FOMO.
fear of missing out on being
Yeah.
crippled?
Yeah,
FOMO.
it's
I think
basically
it's not
Why?
called trans disabled, but it's something disabled.
See, Munchausen syndrome is similar in the fact where it's like when a mom purposefully
Well, that's by
makes
proxy.
her child
That's
sick.
that's by proxy. Is
It's
'Cause you're
but
doing-
that's mainly for attention.
yeah.
This one,
They just believe that they're supposed to be crippled.
yeah, I
or
consider that a
disabled.
genuine mental problem that they should go to therapy for before they pour bleach in their eyes.
Yeah.
True.
Or like the people that believe they're supposed to be deaf, so they'll jam a screwdriver in their ear or something. It's like,
Yeah.
I think you just need to get on some medication.
I think
dog.
you just need a straitjacket
Yeah.
or a gay jacket. I'm being inclusive.
Rainbow.
Yeah.
Rainbow.
They put me in the psych ward the way I'm straitjacking it.
If y'all were to lose a limb, what limb would y'all lose?
My penis.
I'd choose a leg. I would choose like lower leg,
Yeah, I'd
like below the knee.
Yeah, I'd probably choose a leg as well.
Because if I don't have a hand, I can't crank my hog.
You just have to learn to crank it with the other hand.
It would feel like a stranger's doing it.
That's the best
That's even
part.
better.
No, because I don't like change.
You ever sit on you ever sit on your hand until it falls asleep and goes numb, and then touch yourself so it
Called
feels
the
like a different
stranger.
person?
On the
Got
street.
an idea.
I've actually tried that once and it didn't work. It just felt like ants were crawling up my thing.
Cock.
Yeah.
It was just limp.
It's like TV static. It's like, yeah.
Okay, so this is another side tangent. Have you ever accidentally like sat in a specific way where like whenever you stand up, it makes your entire taint, balls, and butthole fall asleep, and they start tingling like crazy?
I'm doing
so.
that right now.
Yeah, it's like whenever you sit with like all of your weight just kind of like right here on the very small of your back,
And your
right
cheeks
above your
go
ass.
numb? Yeah.
And it's like no, the cheeks
Oh.
are fine. What goes numb is like all the way from your butthole up into your dick, like this whole
I don't
area.
think I've ever
It
experienced
goes
that.
completely numb.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've never
It's kind of cool.
What
it's
do you
not
call
a
that one?
static feeling. It just signal interference.
Yeah, TV static.
Signal
TV
interference.
static.
It does the whole
No
thing.
signal?
Like, at first it goes completely numb, and then I start just kind of like whacking it and messing with it, and I can't feel anything.
Boing, 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 boing,
Yeah,
boing.
and then like, and eventually you get the whole tingly pins and needles feeling, and that's awesome. But it's like putting icy hot on your dong.
Getting that while you're taking pins and needles while you're taking a shit is the worst. So,
Oh yeah, in your legs.
yeah, I'll have times at work where I'm straight spending that hour of money taking a shit, and then I'll stand up and my legs just go limp, and I almost smash my face into the metal door.
I have to like use the fucking counter whenever I get up. I'm like, okay, no, we're not, and then I have to shake it off. And I hate. You guys ever had the feeling
Here's-
where you have to stomp your foot whenever it's TV static, you
Yes.
know, and it feels like the weirdest fucking thing ever. You're like, I know how this is gonna feel, and I
It-
don't want to do it.
it gives you like
but
a
you have to. And you
feeling.
yeah.
It feels
Struggle.
like how whenever the springy door stops behind the door, whenever you flick it, that's what it feels like.
Yeah. True.
Are y'all standing? Are y'all a sitting or a standing wiper?
I sit.
I stand.
I stand.
Sitting's a lot cleaner.
I do both.
You sit.
I
So
was
we
gonna
have
say,
two sitters
when
and
you-
two
Well, when you
standers.
stand up, your ass cheeks.
always two and two.
Yeah.
When you stand up, your ass cheeks squish together the shit and make it spread farther.
Well, I
That
stay,
gives you the
I
infinite
like,
shit
I stand up off the
glitch.
toilet, but I like stay bent over so my cheeks don't press together, and then I wipe and throw it. But
Well,
that's the
that's
thing
fine,
is
but
like
if
when
you're
my
standing straight
when my
up-
legs fall asleep and I
Okay.
try to stand up to wipe, it's like I stand up and my legs. I'm trying to wipe, but my legs are just like.
Okay, but also if you so Ethan and Kagan they
Back to
wipe
fecal
sitting,
fables, huh?
right? You two wipe sitting, right? So do you go forwards or backwards?
Backwards.
Backwards. Thank fuck
I
because
go
you can get
backwards.
shit balls.
Kagan was just talking about the other day how he's always worried about having
True.
shit on his balls, and I'm like, do you just fucking reach down there and wipe it all the way up? Like,
No, but like, what if I shit and then like it's a wet one, so it hits the water and it splashes back up and just coats my balls like you're dipping a strawberry in chocolate. And then I have to deal with that for like the rest of the day.
That's exactly
I
how.
feel like I need to take a shower.
Have you ever had a shit? Have you ever had a shit so
Kagan.
bad you need to shower?
it's like that picture of the dog that's like laying by a river. He has just like the long nutsack that's just like dipping into the water. And it's the only thing in the water, and like the top comment just says, "I bet that feels heavenly."
Nice little spritz of heaven.
That reminds me of that Family Guy skit where Clint Eastwood flushes his balls down the toilet.
Yeah, well, I guess this is it, boys.
And he pulls out the revolver.
That's what he says, right?
Yeah, he's like,
Guess
well,
this is it
we
then,
had a
boys."
good run, boys. And then he pulls out the revolver.
Oh fuck! Speaking of shit, I don't know why I wanted to talk about this earlier. Fuck,
You
what's
felt
his
compelled.
name? What's his name? The famous guy who played cowboys, old
Clint
school-
Eastwood?
Clint.
Who I was literally
his
just
name?
talking about. Yeah.
I thought he had a different name.
No, it's Clint Eastwood.
oh,
East Clintwood.
Clint Eastwood.
Woody's Clint. But fun fact about him: whenever he passed away,
Bart East Forest.
Has Clint Eastwood passed away yet?
yeah, I'm thinking.
I don't think
unless
Clint
he's
Eastwood
not the
passed
one
away.
I'm thinking of.
Oh my god.
I feel like that's not him. There's another famous guy who played a lot of in a lot of old westerns, but he's dead.
Chuck Norris.
No,
He's
not him.
alive. Oh.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood. I don't think he's dead.
Are there any other famous old western actors that played cowboys? Because I don't think it's Clint Eastwood.
That's the only guy I can think of.
Can you give me a
MacGyver.
movie name?
Not MacGyver.
No.
Is it like? Are you talking like a fistful of dollars or something?
That's Clint Eastwood.
There's a bunch of old Western actors that star in his movies.
Whoever it is, he is the main character of the movie.
John Wayne.
John Wayne.
John Wayne.
That's who it is. That's who I was thinking of. Yeah, not Clint Eastwood. John Wayne.
John
He's another
Wayne.
massive old western actor.
Oh yeah, he is dead.
John
He's one of
Western.
the-
Yeah.
He's a classic.
What I was going to say about John Wayne is, did you know that whenever he passed away and they did his autopsy, they found I think it was something like 20 pounds of shit in his colon.
Ugh.
Holy fuck.
Dude was constipated.
Constipation is no joke.
I
dude.
don't know what made me think
They're
of
like,
that.
man, this guy feels 20 pounds heavier. What's he, full of shit? Cut him open.
Oh,
Oh.
he was.
Yeah, I don't.
Open and it just.
Yeah, I don't think that's what killed him. I think he just died of what did kill him? Was it cancer or something,
Let me see.
Cancer of the shit.
or was it just old age? I
Jake,
don't,
did
I
you
don't
say-
think it was
did you say
that
John
killed him.
Western.
Yes, like a minute ago.
I heard it, but I didn't
Cancer.
register.
Yeah.
Cancer.
Yeah, cancer killed John Wayne, but
No,
whenever they
no.
did his autopsy,
Stomach cancer.
stomach cancer killed him.
From
Whenever
all
they,
the shit.
but when they did his autopsy,
He went
yeah, they
septic.
found so much shit in his colon.
Hell no.
So would you guys get a bunch of shit implanted in your colon?
Dude, I don't need it implanted. I've got a history.
Yeah, you fucking gargoyle that shit. You straight gargoyle on the pot.
Not anymore. I hit the Spider-Man.
You're like XQC in the Meat Canyon video.
I do a new thing where I do a one-handed handstand on the bowl, right? And whenever I shit, my back is arched just enough to where it just plops in the bowl,
Impressive.
right?
See, what I do is I like
a
to
circus act.
I like to multitask, so I just do everything in the shower.
Waffle snow.
Yep.
But you don't have a great drain.
I do have a
Drain's just fine.
It's like one of my favorite clips.
You don't have a great drain. Yeah, I got a great drain. It works
Drain's
just
just
To our 12 monthly listeners on Spotify who get that reference, you're the OGs and we love you.
Yeah.
Whenever this thing gets popular, you know that you'll be there.
When this thing gets popular, we won't remember you.
But just know it's
but
appreciated.
just know that we'll remember that.
spit your shit indeed, brother.
We'll remember that there were 12 of you. We won't know which ones, but we'll know that
There
were
were
12.
12 for sure.
One of them is Jake's mom, but
Hi, mama.
No
Hey,
one in
Mom.
my family knows about this.
hey, mama,
Me too.
I'm sad that my girlfriend doesn't listen.
you watch your fucking mouth.
You speak nicely about her.
Kagan, don't disrespect your
You
stepfather.
keep my mother out of the.
Don't disrespect your
I
stepfather.
love how that joke went full circle.
You keep my mother out of this.
I think we're done.
You guys can't think of any more body mods?
I can't think. I think we covered all the ones we really wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I
Fair
really
enough.
want a robot arm. Yeah.
I want
The idea of any kind of future augmentation to the body, the idea is great, but the actual practice is I don't know, it kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies.
The Heems jeans.
Up, samurai.
Yeah.
Wake the fuck up, samurai.
thing that
Where'd the brownie in my kid cuisine go, samurai?
If you ate it, put iron in your mouth.
Stick some iron in your mouth.
If you ate it, that's not very prim of you, Choom.
I got to zero your ass for eating my
Zero
Lunchables
your
brownie.
Then Delta out of here. We need a Delta out of this episode, boys.
We do.
How long
right.
have we been going for?
A long time.
An hour and 40 minutes.
Too long. Far too long.
Okay, who's gonna walk us out of here?
Adam is the plug.
I mean, the door's right there.
You're
Okay.
so. Oh
Funny.
His microphone peaked.
my God. It did. Yeah, it did.
Yelled at me.
Don't yell at me.
Yeah, I guess that's it for our episode about body modifications. If you feel like leaving a comment, leave a comment about what kind of body modification you have, or that you want, or that you're thinking of getting,
And
or
we will
that you
ridicule
have,
you heavily.
or that you have unwillingly.
You can listen to our stuff
at YouTube,
Yeah.
Spotify,
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts, and I think that's it. And we also have socials. We have an Instagram, we have a TikTok, we have an X, Twitter, and anything else?
I think that's about it.
I reckon. I'm Adam. I've been Adam. He's been Kagan. He's been Jake, and he's been Ethan. And
You've been real.
And I am currently being stabbed to death in an alley behind a Walmart. Thank you for
And
listening.
it has been real.
I'm
Tis-
getting so many piercings.
Tis the gooning hour, my boys. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks for listening.